Hey, Jack.
Hey, Jimmy.
Sorry, I'm already laughing. A Padawan tried to build a lightsaber with a hilt on each end, but guess what?
What?
It was pointless.
Oh, oh my God. Hello, Star Wars fans. Welcome to episode 93. And this week, we've got KB joining us.
Wanna buy some death stick?
Jedi.
That's not a moon. It's a space station.
Always a pleasure to meet you.
And my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy!
You failed, Your Highness. I'm a Jedi.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to another episode of Explore the Force. We're your hosts, Jack, Jimmy, and Charlie. And this week, we've got KB joining us from Atlatin, so stay tuned for that. Jimmy, Charlie, missed you both. I'll start with you, Jimmy. How's your week been?
Been good. We had snow days galore the past week, so that was exciting. That's the most I've gotten here in Kansas. We did have to work though, so snow days as a teacher are not nearly as much fun as snow days as a student. And then I took my boys to the state swim and dive meet up in Kansas City area, and they all did awesome up there. It was really, I don't know if I'm getting older and more sentimental, but when one of our seniors swam his last race, there may have been some dust in the air. It was an emotional win for a lot of our senior boys, and it was pretty exciting. But yeah, so I've been great. Way to come down from that. And then, I was like, how am I going to top this weekend? And then you'll see in about 30 minutes how we topped what I just got to do this past weekend. And of course, we have Swim to a Wish happening this weekend coming up. So if you're listening to this on Tuesday, our boys are getting ready. My boys, I'll have 5 of them, and they will swim 100 miles raising money for Make-A-Wish here in Kansas. It's called Swim to a Wish event. And we basically low-key are torturing them because they don't get to sleep very much. They are being physically challenged in the pool, and it's 48 hours straight. They swim until they in a relay format. And so, we're really excited for that. It's a really good cause, and it just makes me really proud to be a coach and to coach these boys. So, so I have lots going on, super exciting. And then the girls' season starts right after that. So very busy. Charlie, how about you? How have you been?
Oh my goodness, how do I even top that? I have not had as busy a week as you have had, Jimmy. Goodness me. But we're moving, we're going. I feel like I've been doing so much adult stuff this week, lots of paperwork, lots of calls, lots of the house moving is going. And again, always looking forward to chatting to you two about Star Wars because oh my goodness, do I need it after this week. Jack, how are you doing now you've come back from Jeddah and have returned to us in one piece?
Yes, Jeddah was hot, unlike Jimmy's visit to Hoth. It was all
Sure.
right. Yeah, it was good. It was busy. Long flight. Obviously, Star Wars films were on the flight, so no prizes to guessing what I was watching on the flight there and back. But no, it was pretty steady. And yeah, like you said, Jimmy, about your swimmers, best of luck to those guys doing that. They
Yes.
achieved that. I'll be sending £50 over to that charity, dude. So yeah, hats
I'll
off to
post
those
that
young
stuff.
fellas, man. Hats off to those young fellas. So this week though, it's a big one. Force encounters. Let's go.
For my ally is the Force.
Guys, listen. I know we're going to get into this a little bit later in the show, but Star Wars Celebration dropped their art show for this year, and I somehow the timings, the stars aligned, and I was in place to be there on the Instagram feed for every single official artist drop. And I had the immense pleasure of speaking to nearly all of the artists. I think there were 16, 17 announced in total, and it's been a joy to share their work, get excited, get involved in the hype. The art show at the Celebration in London a couple of years ago was one of my favorites. I had a wonderful time chatting to Frank. I have one of his beautiful pieces over here of Ray. It's my pride and joy. So that was at my Force encounter this week was many Star Wars fans and many beautiful pieces of art. So I am buzzing. I am buzzing. What about you, Jimmy?
Yeah, mine's pretty cool. I don't know if I didn't talk to that many people. But with my boys this weekend, we go up there on a Thursday and we come back Saturday and we take them to this big mall up there. And people want to say things about kids and they only think about themselves. And sometimes it's me saying that. But a couple of the boys all got me Star Wars gifts. I got a comic and I got a mug, and I think I got a little Lego keychain as well. So it's pretty cool when they show their gratitude and they get me. Right, they understand. It's kind of these
Aw.
trips are kind of fun because it's a little bit more one-on-one. Like we have 51 boys on the swim team. We have the biggest team in the state. And then we get to whittle it down. We whittle it down to about 12 boys that go and qualify. And so just getting to spend time with them, talking a little Star Wars with them. They would ask me questions and things like that, and they're just like, they're kind of blown away by the knowledge that I have. And they wouldn't know if I was wrong anyways, so it doesn't really matter.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's my Force account. Just hanging out with them showing me some love in the Star Wars. I get the mugs up on my collection at school, and I'm excited to put that up there. So, Jack, how about you, man? You've been to Pasana and back.
Yeah. I've been obviously busy, like I mentioned. However, I have got a secret Force encounter because I'm going to a secret Star Wars event that I'm not allowed to say. However, keep an eye on the socials, people, because I will be posting what I'm allowed to and can, hopefully. And then Friday night, this upcoming Friday, we have something special planned for us. So again, I can't say anything, unfortunately, but trust me, Star Wars fans, you will not want to miss next week's Force Encounters when I'll be able to spill the beans on what I've been doing.
Ooh.
And talking about spilling the beans, let's head over to Batuu and see what beans have been spilling out from there.
The people in this crowd will soon be among almost 40,000.
For those who are among the 900 with news media or promotional tickets, this sneak preview probably would be the only chance to see the Empire Strikes Back.
Excellent transition, Jack.
Ooh, that was a good segue.
Okay, start off with a bit of rubbish news to begin with. So the diverse Star Wars video game, loads of us were looking forward to playing. The Star Wars Eclipse, if you like, is probably not going to be happening, as NetEase is reported to be selling off its studio. So it's another Star Wars game in the can, in the bin. And I will actually highlight Star Wars Outlaws is still one of the best Star Wars games that I've played, because I'm still going through it now. So yeah, there's still Star Wars Outlaws out there. There's so much you can do in that game still, even now. But yeah, another Star Wars video game in the trash compactor. What do we think of that, Jimmy?
I'll be honest, I'm disappointed. That game, and I get it. It was just a trailer and that's not gameplay and stuff, but I thought the potential, I know it was tied into the High Republic. I thought the potential for that game was going to be
great.
Yeah, because I've said it on the past, like playing Star Wars Outlaws, that is the most Star Wars game I think out there. Because you're in, like, I feel like you're in Star Wars even more so than with the
Jedi Survivor.
Jedi Survivor and but this game looked, the potential for this I thought was off the charts. Now unfortunately it's going the way of 1313 and just never going to see the light of day, and that's a bummer because I feel like this is something that could have really brought people into the High Republic if the story was as good as it looked. It looked so, and like that trailer, I probably watched that trailer every once in a while, just click it and play it because I'm just like, this is so beautiful. This is so intriguing. What's happening? And to find out now, because we've speculated on it for what's that, going on 3 or 4 years now, I think. How long ago they dropped that trailer?
Ages, yeah.
Yeah, it's a real bummer, man. Like, I wish they wouldn't do stuff like that. Like, I get it. You want to stay in the social media and you got the algorithm and you want to stay, relevant, but we've talked about that at length on this show about don't tell us until you know what's going to happen. Because now I'm sad on the inside. What about you, Charlie?
Oh my goodness. So a little bit of lore for this actually. Way back in the yonder years during the pandemic times when I first started Star Wars podcasting, when this trailer dropped, my podcast that I was with at the time, we did a whole breakdown of that trailer. I'm telling you, I went scene by scene, frame by frame. I picked this thing to pieces because I was so excited. I was so blown away by the graphics. Yes, I know it was built on Unreal Engine. I know. However, I sort of knew it was going this way because it was a couple of years of no news and then a couple of years of like the studio having some issues and some problems, and this obviously makes sense, but I'm devastated like you are. I wish they would stop doing this. It was the same with Squadrons. It's been the same with so many other Star Wars games where they just go, "Here's the
Yeah.
oh no, sorry, not for you." And
Yeah.
ugh. I'm
Boo.
sad. I'm not surprised. Boo. Yeah, that's the best way to sum it up. A big fat boo. Oh, however, in some slightly brighter and more exciting news, Star Wars Celebration has put out the banner on their social media and announced they are officially sold out, which is great news for the people that are going because we won't be crammed in the 2023 Corridor of Doom. And if you guys were there, I still wake up in like night sweats thinking about being crushed in the Corridor of Doom. So hopefully there'll be a little bit of breathing room this time, you know?
Yeah.
I've never been to anything
Mm.
at that facility. What it's the Excel Center, yeah, that's what
The
it's
XL,
called.
I
Yeah.
hate the XL.
So I was surprised to find out that there was a whole nother place they could have opened and all these different things they could have done, and they just didn't do it. And trying to get through the gauntlet of that main hallway was probably like trying to escape Narkina 5. Jack would know,
It was.
but it would be like trying to escape. Luckily, I can swim, so I'm set. But yeah, that's it's exciting that it's sold out because I'm a little concerned that we're flying all the way to Japan and it's going to feel like it's the con up the street. You know what I mean? With 16 guests, and I'm concerned. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm a little bit like, holy crap, I'm flying to Japan,
Yeah.
and it's going to be like a tiny little con. So, but I'm glad it's sold out. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah. Same detail, mate. The Corridor of Doom was atrocious. They sold extra tickets, I think, in London as well. So Reed Pop literally just went for it and it's just overfilled. It was crammed. And obviously, like you said, we did the Narkina prison run in there. And it was more of a bimble than a run. Even
I
then, it's
watched you
just
guys do
chaos.
that. That's so weird. I was stood at the bottom of the steps outside and I watched all of you lot come out
Yeah.
screaming on way out.
I was there.
And I
Look at us now,
cried.
a year later, doing a podcast together.
Small
Crazy.
It
world,
is
huh?
bonkers.
But yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of those 16 guests, we got a big one. We got a couple big ones. I want to talk about this a little bit too. Sticking Hayden Christensen, so that's exciting. They've released him, and that's supposedly the last big name that's coming. Although we may have heard other news today. Vanessa Marshall is going to be there. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And we have 16 guests so far, and last time in London we had 32, and I'm kind of like, what? Like again, this is where my concern. Now, I'm excited because I'm going to be in Japan and we're going to go and we're going to do things in the Japanese culture, and I'm pumped. But I would like a good 3 days, a fun 3 days, an exciting 3 days, and I'm surprised that this is it so far, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. So, I just felt like, a lot of times in Anaheim and Chicago, like I was looking up prices for these, and some of them aren't bad. There's a lot of extras, like this whole thing where they're making you pay extra for, like, it takes them 5 seconds to write Hayden Christensen,
Mhm.
Anakin Skywalker, or whatever. I think it's a little bit. I don't think it's the actors. I think it's Reed Pop. I think they're the ones who
Yeah.
do this because you have some of these same people in other places, and their cost is half.
Yeah.
But like it's in Anaheim, I was able to run over and day of I could grab someone's autograph that was like 50 pounds or whatever. It'd be like $60 or
Hmm.
something. You
Yeah.
could just go over and like, hey, I found this pop. I really kind of like this character. I'm going to run over and grab that. And there's nobody really like that, which is, I mean, it's all great, talented people, but some of those some of the side characters, and I'm glad that like Doug Chang's getting his opportunity. But it seems a little weird to me. I mean, having gone to 4 now, this will be my 5th, or wait, this Japan will be my 4th, I think. It's a little weird that why would they put it in Japan if they're not going to be able to stack it out?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people flying very far for this. I don't know. How do you guys feel now?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's I get it as well. So I sort of counteract your statement as well. Yes, it's Japan. I don't think the fan base is massive in Japan as it is in other places,
I
which
have read
I
that.
get.
I have read that.
I get. But with so many, I guess this is down to us as Star Wars fans. It's quite selfish of me to say, but with so many people flying over or going to it, even in Japan, that's a lot of money. Yes, it's only 3 days instead of 4, which London was. But to only have 16 guests, I think is a little disappointing. And like you said, there's some great, fantastic people there. A lot of people that are going have already been to a lot of events. I mean, there's still so many Star Wars actors and personnel out there that haven't been to any. I'm going to call it a premium event, if you like. Star Wars Celebration's a premium event, which is why I believe the prices for all these are so high. I mean, you've got Jude Law. We've still got the Skeleton Crew. We've got a lot of people from the Acolyte. Why have we not got Daphne Keane or someone like that? You know, high level
Sign me
celebrity.
up. That would be a no-brainer.
You know, and oh god, even oh my god, the name's Carrie-Anne Moss. I would love to go meet her.
That would be nuts.
This is what I'm saying. So there's so many actors out there and people. Even Bryce Dallas Howard. You know, I'd love to go get a signature off her. So I sort of get it logistic wise. Again, it's halfway across the world for other people and them. But at the same time, I understand that everyone's doing their own things. Everyone's still working. Ewan McGregor, prime example, he's in London doing bits and bobs. So yeah, I totally get it. I understand. But I think this celebration is going to be, for me, it's going to be about meeting other Star Wars fans.
Yeah. We're already talking to like Marie Bernadette and some of them about, hey, when can we have dinner? When can we have a beverage? The Belgian prop builders and Spencer. And yeah, I think this will be, and it's gonna be a lot different for us too, I think, coming in as creators. Obviously we're fans and we're not, I'm not sitting there being like, oh, we're creators now, look at us. But it'll be a different it'll be different, because we'll be doing a lot of recording, we'll be doing, live updates and stuff. So
yeah,
maybe for us it'll be better this way because we won't have as much, it'll all come down to panels though. If I miss the panels like I have the last few years, Godzilla will be the least of their problems.
But if there's one panel you don't want to miss, it's our panel.
Our panel, yes.
So.
We will be there. What's your thoughts on it, Charlie? Obviously, I know you're not attending, but still.
I see when I went. This is the thing for me personally. Meeting guests and celebrities has never been a huge part of like my wanted con experience. I had. Let me see if I can grab it. I had the incredible pleasure of getting to meet Silas Carson at Star Wars Celebration because my friend had a ticket and invited me along. So that was just a happenstance thing. It wasn't something I specifically sought out. I think for me, Celebration was about the experience.
Yeah.
And the guest didn't make up for that. But what I did get to do was go and walk through the guest area. I was stood like 5 feet away from Mads Mikkelsen, which will forever be one of the coolest things ever. Oh, he was right. I could have breathed on him. He was right there.
Of all the things.
Oh boy. So I don't know. I think 16 guests sounds reasonable, and I think that's because there's like a month or so away before it actually happens. I'm sure they'll announce some more. But like you said, it feels so much harder to get to than London and America. So I understand maybe that's why we've not got a huge number this time round.
Yeah, maybe so. But we do have lots of awesome Star Wars Celebration stuff still being released. Charlie's already mentioned it in this week's Force Encounters, but the Star Wars art show looks incredible. So many different pieces from so many different artists, and they are all amazing. Now, I've got a personal top 4. I know Charlie has. Jimmy, you've got a top 4, I believe, as well. Good to go.
Oh man, every time I look through this chart, it changes for me. So I'll just say I like it all.
Nice. Charlie, what about you?
I'll flip through stuff here for you guys.
Thank you. If Jimmy would be so kind as to scroll down to The Phantom Menace by Seth Groves for our wonderful people who are watching via YouTube.
Absolute classic.
There we go. There it is. This is a gorgeous side profile, full body portrait of Queen Amidala as we see her in episode 1, The Phantom Menace. She looks regal, beautiful, and so unbelievably powerful in this piece. And if you'd like to see Seth painting this, head over to his Instagram at, I think it is just Seth Groves Art, and watch over 100 hours of painting condensed down into like a minute long reel.
There's
And it will
so many
it will blow
details
your
in it.
mind.
Have you
So
noticed on
many
this one?
details.
Have you noticed on this one as well? If you look at the bottom of the reflection of Queen Amidala, look at the bottom and who's in that reflection. Who do we see? Who do we see?
Oh, dang. I didn't even notice that
I
before.
didn't even notice.
It's
Oh
Jack
my
Loads of
goodness.
details. So we've got
Ooh.
Darth Maul's reflection underneath. Again, check us out on YouTube. Get over there and you'll see this awesome artwork if you're
Yeah,
not
you
already.
guys can also
seen
go
it.
to StarWars.com, and all these are posted up there as where
Mhm.
we're scanning them from. So, listen to these guys talk about it, and then go check them out for yourselves, because this is, I mean, I'm not a real artsy guy, but some of this
Please
stuff is actually
do.
really beautiful.
Yeah. Any more for you, Charlie?
My third piece has to go to Jimmy. Has already scrolled past this one, but it's "Pieces a Lie" by Candice Daly.
Oh, this is a beaut. This is an
This is an
absolute beaut.
absolutely stunning portrait.
is.
This is Chimera from the Acolyte brought to life in a hyper-realistic detail. The menacing glow of his lightsabers and powerful stance represent the intense on-screen presence of Manny Jacinto as this character
Oh, I want this signed.
perfectly. If you grab a print of this at Celebration, you have to go and get Manny to sign it. I am begging of you. Also, Candice was absolutely lovely to chat to via Instagram. She's a fantastic artist. I'd highly recommend seeking her out and going and looking at her other paintings. She is immensely talented. If you're not watching this episode, I cannot understate the energy this painting gives off. I want this like A1 printed on a wall. I want this in a gallery. Oh,
That painting will never come into this household. I heart Jackie.
oh,
Brilliant. What you got
This is
next,
right after-
Charlie?
you Jedi sympathizer, Jimmy. Oh, my second favorite piece is by Brian De Geer, and this is called "Never Underestimate a Droid." This is just underneath Chimera, actually, on the list of the website. This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous print. It is a love letter to my favorite part of Star Wars, the droids. It's this gorgeous pop art style, and this wickedly colorful presentation makes this piece really, really stand out for me amongst some of the more the softer, kind of more artistic energies that are going on with some of the pieces. It's such a standout. I was drawn to it immediately, and Brian was also an absolute joy to chat to. I said to him about I have a BB-8 tattoo on my leg, and I said it's so nice to see my favorite boy in one of my favorite pieces. It's such a beautiful, beautiful piece. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I love this one too. You got B2 emo in the middle, and I was like, obviously we were watching through Andor to get ready for some stuff on the show here, and B2, that droid invokes so much emotion. It's awesome to see him on there. What's your last one, Charlie?
And love. My last one. If anybody knows me who's watching this, this is not going to be a surprise by any stretch of the imagination. This piece is called "The Force Arcana" by Diane Vasnellis. I may have cried a little when looking at this. It is absolutely breathtaking. It is all of the major arcana from a tarot deck reimagined as Star Wars characters. I have a deep love for
These are
tarot. I
sick.
have many, many decks. And the more magical aspects of the world, and this piece feels like it was just made just for me. Not only are the illustrations absolutely beautiful, but the marriage of the major arcana cards to their specific Star Wars counterparts is perfect. Jar Jar Binks is portrayed as the fool, Boba Fett's portrayed as the hanged man, Rey is strength. There's been some real thought put into these character traits and how they relate to the aspects of the cards. I urge you to go and look at this piece in detail. Diane's been posting close-ups on her Instagram of each of the cards. She's expanded on the illustrations and also some of the meanings in her actual post captions. This is what I am pre-ordering. Jack and Jimmy, I'm sending you guys on a mission to collect this for me.
On
Please
it.
and thank you. It will go beautifully with my Rey.
Well, is she making actual cards of this too?
I
No idea.
hope so. I
Oh,
hope
because I
so. I
mean,
might message her and ask because I
I don't
need
have
the
not?
set.
I don't
Why
have
not?
room for this art on my walls, but I would love to have these cards in a collection. Just have them displayed. Like that
Yeah.
would be phenomenal,
It's
I
just
think.
perfect.
So
It is
Yeah.
perfect.
there is so much on here. I mean,
Yeah, I could talk.
Oh my
I could spend a
goodness.
whole 60
This
minutes
is
going
one.
through all this.
The hero's journey one. You just have so much. Yeah, folks. Even if you, like I say, I'm telling you, even if you're not an art person, if you're a Star Wars person, hop on StarWars.com, click on the link. This Plo Koon is
That's my favorite.
Dave Filoni will
That's
have
your
that up
fave,
on his wall.
obviously.
This one, I really love
Gorgeous.
that, but my
I
favorite
like
would
the
be
Freighters of Fortune as well with Solo, Luthen, and Heron as well. There's something about that I really like.
Hero's Journey with all of Ahsoka's. I mean, obviously, I'm a
So
big
much
Ahsoka.
love for
Imagine
Ahsoka this
buying
year.
that,
Gorgeous.
maybe getting Ashley to sign it, possibly. It would be my like
Mhm.
third thing signed by Ashley. So I might have a problem, folks.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, art, man, and I just blown away by it. So it's very cool. I'm glad, Charlie. I'm glad you got to have that experience of chatting with everybody.
Honestly, art is one of my passions in life, and getting to share my love of art and my knowledge of art with other artists and also supporting other artists is something I'm really, really passionate about. So please, listeners, head over. There's also a highlight reel on our Instagram of all of the artists. They're all tagged. There's breakdowns of everything. Go and have a look through, pick your faves, and get pre-ordering when there's pre-order. I think it drops in March. The link opens. I want to say.
I think it
Do
is,
not
yeah.
know off the top of my head, but
Information on the
we will
website.
post out once that gets released on
We
our
shall.
socials.
Yeah.
Yeah. So outside of, I mean, that's beautiful stuff there. We did have some news we talked about a little bit, I think last week when we were talking about it. Mike and I were
Mhm.
talking about on Jedi and the Mailman about the Rey movie and some of the things happened there. Stephen Knight's come out and said the following about the Rey movie. There's a system, and when you engage with it, you know what it is. You do your bit, you turn in your draft or drafts as I did, and then the system moves on. I fully expect that substantial amounts of what I did will be in the movie. Who knows? But that's the expectations.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's funny because Mike and I were doing our rewatches of the sequel trilogy, and somehow I missed that Michael Arndt, I think it was his name, was on. He's contributed to The Force Awakens. Was the first writer they moved off from. And then I was looking at it today, and I was like, because I had that signed copy from J.J. Abrams, and I was looking, his name's right there. So, I mean, there is possibility of it sounds like he thinks that most of the story is going to be his. That I'm kind of wondering, like, why did they move away or bring in, was it George Nolfi?
Yeah.
To clean it up? I mean, don't you have to pay? I don't know how that all works as far as, the payments and things like that, but I just wonder just the credits and things like that, how that's going to work. And I guess we probably won't find out until the movie, if it ever gets made, comes out.
Yeah, great
So,
shout.
how do you guys think about that? I mean, it's not like world breaking news, but he seems to think that he's basically created the story for this.
I think he's desperate to get his name out there to be like, in case he get the credit for it.
Yeah, possibly.
Oh,
possibly.
Does sound a tinge desperate, maybe just a little.
Yeah. But right, final piece of news then is for any fans of prop auctions, Luke Skywalker's Medal of Yavin, awarded to him by Princess Leia, is up for purchase for a whopping predicted sale of just shy of £500,000/dollars. So much money for a prop, which is crazy. However, I get it. Loads of collectors, you'd do it. Yeah,
I'd do it.
If I
You know how they say if you won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anybody, but there would be signs. There'd be signs.
Yes, there would be signs. Jimmy,
Settle.
I love that.
Yeah, Timmy walking around with his Yavin medal.
Walking around Yavin medal. Where'd you get that? Well, Princess Leia.
Yeah,
Oh,
no big deal. Awesome. That
Okay.
wraps up then this week's news. Okay, so joining us today, all the way from Atin, after plundering and fumbling her way across the galaxy that we all know and love, ladies and gentlemen, it's KB, Kyriana Kratter.
Hi! Well, that's so cool.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Yeah, we're all good. We're all good.
We are all the better for having you with us. Thank you so much for joining us, Kyriana. We really, really appreciate you taking the time. And I don't know about the rest of us, but I'm incredibly excited. Oh my goodness. How are you? How are things going at the moment? Have things settled down now, kind of post Skeleton Crew?
Yeah, I mean it's settled down. It's still I'm still getting like really nice things and really nice comments from people. Um and I'm still rewatching the show.
Oh,
But
amazing.
yeah, I'm good. I'm awesome.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Would you like to tell our listeners a little bit about yourself? And also, would you say that you are a Star Wars fan?
Oh my gosh. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I've been watching Star Wars since I was 4 years old, and my dad introduced me to do A New Hope, and I saw Princess Leia. She's been my icon for a really long time, and I love her so much. I'm a singer as well as an actress. I do martial arts. I love running. Um, I love shopping and hanging out with my brothers
Nice.
and playing with my dogs and Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I mean, of course.
Oh my goodness. What an absolutely sensational answer. I feel like that sums you up perfectly. It's so nice to hear that you have so many other things in your life other than just acting and being awesome on Skeleton Crew. I'm guessing A New Hope is your favorite Star Wars movie. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic.
Nice. Of course, of course.
Nice. You've just got back from MegaCon as well, haven't you? How was that whole experience for you? Did you enjoy it?
It was awesome. It was my first
Mhm.
convention.
Yep.
And it was just amazing, like, actually meeting fans, like, face to face, and they would tell me things and be like, "I love KP." I related to her in a way, and it was just really awesome, like, actually seeing them in person and feeling, like, that connection, and then I did, like, a panel with the other kids and Bryce and Jude, and that was just amazing because like, the crowd was so supportive, and you could say something, and they would just laugh, and it was
That's
just
awesome.
it was amazing.
That's awesome.
I can't argue that Star Wars fans are often the best for that praise and love and adoration, and obviously you deserve every single little bit of it. It must have been nice to be in front of fans and be able to talk freely about the show. Is there one thing you were dying to talk about on the press tour when you had to keep your lips shut?
I really wanted to just ramble about episode 6 because like, the
Perfect.
interviewers had only seen, like, the first, like, 2 or 3 episodes, and so I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, there's so much more to get to," and then all the episodes kind of came out, and we didn't have, like, any more interviews really after that, and the press tour was, like, over, and so I never got, like, a really big chance to just ramble about it.
Very cool. Do you have a favorite moment? Is it from episode 6? Like, the whole experience you've had, what's the first thing that kind of pops into your head?
Probably the scene with, like, Ravi when I break down. I feel like that was just, like, a huge moment for KB and for me.
Yeah.
It was just something I had, like, been anticipating ever since we started filming the episodes, and, I mean, I think my favorite part, though, was, like, when I said, "Thanks, Jedi," to Ravi,
Oh,
and
that
then I
was
just
so
left.
good. Yes.
And no one knows, but that was improv.
Oh,
It
for
No
was
way.
Yeah, it originally was just like, "Thanks," and I did that for multiple takes, and then I was like, "Hmm," and then I tried "Thanks, Jedi" at the end, and then I could see Ravi's face, he was not expecting it, and then after that, Bryce was like, "Oh my gosh, do that again," and it was
That
like,
is amazing.
wow, I just got
Oh
goosebumps.
my
That's
gosh, same.
that puts you in, like, Harrison Ford territory with I Know.
yeah. So, I don't know.
Man, that was a great episode. I wondered, I told, like, Mike and I, we review the shows, and I'm a high school teacher, so I see a lot of kids going through a lot of things, and I said to him when we did that show, like, that moment right there is going to resonate with so many kids, because it was the episode called Zero Friends Again, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just, the struggles and stuff like that. And I just thought that was a really powerful episode for kids your age and just in general. I thought that was
Mhm.
awesome. Just what a great story. um because you guys, your group breaks up and all that stuff. I thought that was awesome, and I applaud you for the performance in that. That was It was really awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the performance was out of this world, quite literally as well, pun intended. But all throughout, and I'm a sticker, so I'll always look for like a favorite character, and that episode really did cement it for me. KB is my favorite skeleton crew character. However, and you're probably thinking it, I know I do look a little bit like Jude Law, but we won't go down that route. That's totally fine.
I mean, I can sort of see
Oh
it.
no.
Yes.
Oh, oh,
You have no
Kyriana,
idea what you've just done.
you don't know what you've done.
She said it. This is going to be the #1 reel now next week on Instagram. We're on. If Jude Law's watching, he needs to get in touch. If he needs a
Jude
stunt
Law
double.
versus Jack.
Oh my god.
Oh, Kyriana, yes. I've got to ask though, with that visor that you had on, could you actually see anything?
When I first put it on, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna be wearing this for like 100% of the show. What am I gonna do? Because I just saw darkness. I didn't see anything else. But they did, when we had like our camera tests in the beginning of filming, they gave me a bunch of like visor prototypes. So some of them would have larger holes and some of them had like really small holes. And then one of them just like, there was no holes. It was just darkness. And we went with the one that's like, it's kind of like a colander. So there's like bunch of like tiny, like sort of toothpick sized holes. And they were just all
Yeah.
like in lines. And so with that, I could just kind of blend my eyes and then everything would just kind of look like sunglasses. But in the beginning, like especially when we were in like the cave and we met like Jod for the first time, it was really hard to see during that time, and especially when we would walk. I think it was episode 5 when we were walking through all the booby traps. I like could not see anything at all, and so I would put my head this way, but I'd be looking down so I could see where I was walking, and no one would know, and so that's just kind of how I would survive.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh my goodness me. I have to ask, Kyriana, you spent so much time as KB. Do you find yourself quite similar to the character? Did you find it easy to be her when you were reading through the script? Did it feel like a good match for you?
Yeah, I feel like I kind of got to create her almost, and so she was very similar to me. But I think in the beginning of filming, we were like very different, and it was very kind of like separated. There would be Kyriana, and then there would be KB, like very different. But I feel like as like filming went on, we kind of like molded together. I guess I felt like KB because I was her for like so many hours of the day for like 6 months, and so when I would like take off the wig at the end of the day, I'd be like, "That's not me. No, I have white hair. I have a visor."
I
Yeah,
have to say that wig is absolutely iconic and probably one of my favorite things in the whole show. So, so beautiful. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Was
I
that
mean, like, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead,
Um,
go ahead.
okay. I mean, when I figured out that I had to wear a wig, I was like super excited. And I like when I tried it on for the first time, they had it like really long because they were
Yeah.
like figuring out the length still. And so for a while, I just had like a really long like white wig on. And then
Nice.
eventually they turned it into like the little bob. Um, and but I still imagine like how I would look like if I had longer like white hair and it would, I mean it wouldn't be as I don't think it's as iconic though.
No, it was a awesome look. Is the whole set, any of that CGI'd, or is that something you had to wear the whole time? Like, 'cause like the side piece and stuff like that, is that all just kind of put on you, part of the
Yeah,
wig, or
it was all put on.
yeah.
But they
Wow.
like CGI'd all the little holes out. I like feel bad for the person who had to do that because they had to like blend it for every time I popped up into the camera.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we obviously were huge fans of the show, huge fans of your character. If you got an opportunity again to play this and you had to do a different character, is there anything, because you love one of the original movies and things like that? What kind of character would you want to play? Would you want to be a Jedi or a bounty hunter or an alien,
Ooh.
Or a princess.
princess,
Ooh,
general?
Anything.
like
Yeah.
a ex-princess Jedi.
Nice.
Okay.
Or with like a
Okay.
sidekick like Neil or Grogu.
There you go.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. I like it. I like it. Your scene with Ravi required some big time emotion. And for someone so young, like, it took my breath away. For someone so young and so talented, how you portrayed that across the TV screen. I was almost in tears. Probably wasn't tears. My daughter was in tears watching it. Yeah. Where do you find, like, where's it come from? Where's that talent come from? Where's the inspiration for that? Where do you get it from? Does it just come naturally?
I'm not sure because, like, both sides of my family were both pretty creative. I think especially my mom's side, where we love the arts a lot.
Yeah.
But I've always loved performing. Like, my mom said that my baby cries were like songs. They were like on key, and I sang for a lot of my life, and so I was on the stage doing that, and so I think when I started doing theater and eventually like on-screen acting, it just kind of came naturally, I guess. I've always loved it.
Nice. We have seen some of your songs you've done on YouTube. I think, is it your brother that's playing the guitar?
Yeah, that's my brother.
Yeah, we're seeing that. So again, any listeners listening to this, check out the YouTube. Not just an actor, honestly, like she mentioned before.
And you wrote that song, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like almost a year ago now.
Wow, that's impressive.
Unreal.
Songwriting.
Absolutely unreal.
I'm fully not ashamed to admit that song had me crying in the kitchen this morning at about 10:30. So
Really?
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kieran was like
Absolutely
slaying
beautiful.
everybody. Slaying everybody. Next question then. Any plans to do a spin-off with LeVar Burton and finally unite the fandom between Star Wars and Star Trek?
I think that would break the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully I'll get an email about that.
There you go.
Maybe it'll happen. That'll be so cool.
Oh, I'd love to see it. Love to see it.
Family.
Are you interested in doing more Skeleton Crew if the opportunity happens to arise? Maybe.
If the opportunity arises, I would love to. I love KP. She'll always be a part of me. I love her. I would love to wear the visor and the wig and the whole costume again.
Yeah, we would love to see you again in the future. That's for sure. Like, there's so much potential with you guys being so young, and how they can kind of weave you into the, into the Star Wars universe. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, so much that could happen.
Yeah. Like I said before, I'm a teacher, right? And I was wondering, because we had a friend who worked for Legacy Effects, Dawn. She played Neil's mom. Do you know Dawn? She was.
Never got to meet her. But
yeah, she's come on our show a few times. We've met her here. She's like one of the ones who created Grogu and everything. Like you said, they're super talented people. Just the stuff that they make for you guys, and she does some character acting on, was it Port Borgo, I believe. She was one of the pirates, but. How does school work for you guys? Like, for you and the kid, the rest of the staff, like, I have to know, how does it work? Like, did you have to take a break? I mean, because you had to try to stay on track with, I mean, you guys are working a full-time job, more than the full-time job, because I don't know how many hours you spend on, on set, stuff like that. But how does school work for you guys? And does it make you go crazy when you have to go to school when you're sitting there playing Star Wars?
I mean, I was in like 6th, 7th grade when we filmed, and so my work was like not that bad. But they made sure we had enough time for school, but sometimes it would be hard because they'd be like, okay, we need 20 minutes in, so they would send us upstairs to the schoolroom if we were in the same building as a schoolroom, and we go up. I'd open my computer, and then be like, okay, we need you back, come back. And so I'd run back, go down the elevator, and run to wherever the set was, still in costume. and then sometimes I'd be on Port Borgo with all the pirates, and then I'd have to go back to the schoolroom and like do a math test or finish my English test. I know.
No.
Ew.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. What's your favorite subject then outside of, I mean, obviously it's not math. Don't tell my wife, she's a math teacher. We'll keep that a secret. But what did you say is your favorite subject?
It used to be English, but I'm a freshman now, and it's
Okay.
not. English is not my favorite anymore because
Oh,
there's just so many paragraphs and so many essays. But I'm actually really loving geography right now
Nice.
because
Nice.
yeah, because we're doing a project and we can pick like any country we want, and I picked Japan because I hope I
Oh,
get to go to Celebration. It's possible.
oh, that
Ooh.
was I would yeah, we're gonna ask
Ooh.
you that. So Japan, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
nerd out here as a teacher, but that's awesome. So I'm a social studies teacher, so I'm appreciative of your efforts in your
I
selection.
was scared. I was like, "Wait, are you an English teacher?"
No.
I was, like, cautious while I was talking.
Yeah, no, no, no. I do the social studies. I teach in high school. So do you get to do like normal high school things, like, being gone a lot? Because then coming back and like just kind of reinserting with your friends, how does that look for you? I mean, because it's complicated. High school is tough for kids. And
Yeah.
you're a famous star now, right?
mhm.
Everyone, I mean, we all love you. And I imagine, most of the Star Wars fandom does too. How is it to go back to school and just like, okay, I'm just me again? Is that tough? Is that like a hard thing to like readjust to, or
I feel like I, like, keep both of the worlds, like, really separate,
wow,
where it's doesn't really blend very often, but I used to go to, like, a public in-person school for, like, end of 7th grade and part of 8th grade, and so I got that experience and I got all that drama. I got some friends out of it too. But now I'm doing like a hybrid school where it's like homeschool and I can work ahead if I'm working. And
okay,
then I can still go in person and see like all the kids there. And a lot of the kids are like actors or athletes. And so I feel like we all get each other. And
yeah,
so we don't
similar.
really,
Sounds like a super school.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's awesome. I mean,
Well, that's
yeah,
that's great though, because you guys have those shared experiences and you guys kind of understand each other's ups and downs of. And I'm glad to hear that they have that for it, because I feel like it would be a tough transition, back and forth all the time and missing out on things. So that's exciting.
I wonder if the teachers had let you get away with using like Atatin as a geography project.
I was gonna
oh,
say
oh my
maybe
God,
I
yeah,
would.
maybe you'll uncover a
I
new
would.
planet. I'd let
Yeah,
you.
if any of the teachers are Star Wars fans, they'd be like, "Yeah, go ahead, go ahead."
Yeah.
yeah, extra credit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah, that'd be
All right, I'll
awesome.
stop asking. I'll stop asking you school questions. I was very curious about it. Dawn had told us you guys would be pulled off set every once in a while and have to go. And I mean, she loved you guys too, by the way. And Marty, we had him on the show, and he absolutely loved you. He's the guy who played Vane, the pirate
Yeah.
Vane. He loved you guys as well. Had some great things to say about you all. But I just had to kind of ask and kind of figure out what my next career can be. I can be a teacher to the stars.
Oh.
Right, before excuse me, before Jimmy absolutely talks your ear off about school, I have to say I loved seeing your pictures from Disneyland. I was very lucky to go to Disney quite a few times as a kid, and I have so many of those hazy, odd-angled, slightly out of focus photos with my friends and my family. Did you enjoy your trip to Disneyland? Is that the first time you've been? And have you been to Galaxy's Edge? Tell me everything.
Oh gosh. So I'm a very big Disney girl.
Yes.
I've gone to Disneyland a lot of times.
Yep.
And now that, I'm closer to LA, I can like go a lot more as well. We got season passes, and so
You
we got the Magic
lucky.
Keys,
Oh,
thing, whatever's happened with that. But I love bringing my little digicam. I bring
yes.
it with me everywhere, and whenever I went to Disney World as well when I went to MegaCon in Florida, and I brought
My
my
favorite.
digicam and I take photos of everything. It's, like, not good, and my parents kinda make fun of me for it,
That's the
and because
magic
I
of
have a
it, though.
phone, but I always use the Digicam because I like the way it looks a lot more, but oh, wait. Okay, the question's about Disney. Um, I I've been to Galaxy's Edge so many times. I love it. It's really cool how, like, once you walk through the tunnel, you're, like or, like, the tunnel's sort of, like, trailway to, Galaxy's Edge. I love how it just kind of immerses you, and it feels like you're in Star Wars, and I tried the blue milk there, and I made one of the little droids at like the droid workshop, and it's like in the middle of our hallway downstairs now. And I've been
Oh,
like it's been like chasing after my dogs. Um, um, but I love Disneyland, and I'm a big roller coaster girl, and so I love Incredicoaster. I went to Tower of Terror in Disney World, and that was like really creepy, but like really fun.
oh, that
That's a
makes
fun
me
park down there.
so
Yeah.
happy. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I got so excited there.
I got a question about Galaxy's Edge for you then. So, like, you said you feel like you're in Star Wars. You would know, right? So, I mean, as far as being on set and then going to Galaxy's Edge, I mean, do you feel like they did a really good? I mean, for us, it's amazing. You go there, we feel like we're on Batuu, we're on, how did you see some of the same craftsmanship and things like that? I mean, is it pretty comparable to what you got to do as far as you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think there's definitely some similar things, but I feel like we went to so many different planets that I
Yeah.
feel like it was still very different, but it still had that like I don't know how to describe it, but that's still like Star Wars magic and like
Just the
Mhm.
aura.
aura.
Yeah, the aura, exactly.
Very
But
cool.
it's just
What was
it's
what was your favorite planet to go on during this filming? Like, do you have a favorite? Was it um
gosh. I mean, I loved the Trash Crab Island. That's what I call it.
Trash Crab
'Cause
Island? Nice.
Nice.
and I mean, it was so peaceful because that was on the volume, and it just felt so immersive because we had like this sort of snow and then
Yeah.
the whole volume around me, and they had like the water like swooshing around, and so like it felt like we were on a
Oh, that's
beach.
unreal.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the trash, and then there were people who would like they would use what were they called? The oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm blanking on it, but the little air thing that like for the leaves? Blow?
Oh, the
Oh
leaf
yeah, leaf
blower?
blower.
Leaf blower! Oh my why was I thinking of blow dryer? But leaf blower. They
Same
had a leaf
concept.
blower, and they would blow the snow so it wouldn't look like we had footprints on it, so when we would be walking, they would
Yeah.
blow it right before we started the scene, and so you couldn't see any of our footprints. But I also really loved Kim's Island. Um, I mean, I stole a lot of the sand, and they made these sand dunes, like
Nice.
on the volume, and that was a lot of fun. And it was very sleepy there because they had wind and it was really dark on the volume. But I mean, Borgo is also really cool, but it was very chaotic, and
This
there was the guy vomiting, so I don't know.
oh,
It was a little gross.
this is what I was gonna ask you without trying to get you into trouble. So I'm gonna reword this.
Okay.
If you could take something, because obviously you're not allowed to, I'm guessing, but if you could take something from the Star Wars set, apart from the sand, what would it be?
I mean, I did take like one or two like credits, but no, everyone was watching me while I was doing it, and they were like, "It's okay, it's okay, it's
Okay.
KB." And like that was like episode 8 when I'm on the pile of credits. Like they had like metal ones and they had like plastic ones on like this giant mound. And I mean, I was rolling out of the ship, and so I
I
deserved
bet that hurt.
You just
Yeah,
you
you
slipped
you
in the
earned those.
pocket.
and so I do have like a credit, but I would love to take Fluffball, the guy on Borgo. He was like this little like cat with like fairy wings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would love
Yeah.
to take him. He was so cute. And like I was so sad he didn't appear again, but he's
Oh.
long gone.
What was it like working with Bryce? I mean, some of the things she's done is absolutely amazing.
Right? I mean, she's wonderful, and she came to MegaCon too,
Yeah.
and she like right before the panel, she gave us all four of us like a pep talk before we went on. She's wonderful. She's so motherly and like sweet and amazing and so talented, and um I mean, she's also an actress, and she did episodes of Mandalorian,
Yeah.
and I mean, it was really great working with her. Like, we had a meeting before we did episode 6, and she was just like, "You're free to ask me any questions, I can tell you things. You can ask me questions," and it was just amazing because I've never worked with a director who was that like I don't know what the word is, but like interactive, I guess, and like so open to
Like
questions.
invested sort of thing.
Yeah, invested. But I mean that was wonderful, and I mean we created already like a little bond before we started filming, and she's so
Nice.
sweet, and it was really an honor to get to work with her.
Something else I picked up on London as well was a keen friendship. Obviously, the four of you were inseparable, but I think if I could choose somebody that you was inseparable from, especially that day because it was cold, was Ryan.
Yeah, I love Ryan. I mean, she's my girl. We're like she's a little bit older than me, and she's very smart and very mature, and so I do look up to her, even though we're pretty close in age. Um, and she was also wearing a really like warm jacket the day Trafalgar Square. Well, I was stealing some of her warmth.
That was a cold day. It was a very, very cold day.
Very cold.
What was the most funniest thing that you got to do on the set? I mean, did you actually go on like, sit on the grab bikes and stuff like that?
Oh, I think when we were doing the stunts and we were on the hover bikes, I mean, I was
Nice.
in like the little like sidecar on the hover
Mhm.
bike, and
Yeah.
Ryan
So
was
cool.
like baddie driving the whole thing. Um, but I think that was the funnest, and there were guys in like blue suits that would like move us, and especially in episode 8, I got to be on the top and of the hover bike and really driving it, and there would be like
Nice.
a blue guy like making me move around, and there'd be wind blowing, and we were in like a giant like blue room at the time, but it was so cool.
Awesome. Awesome. Right, before we wrap up, last couple of questions, or probably the last question I'm going to ask from myself, unless someone else got anything for yourself, is any projects or anything new coming up, or are you just going to enjoy a little bit of time off? Because I know Ravi's busy now, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a busy boy. Um, I mean, I might be releasing an album sometime soon,
Oh,
like a singing
wow.
album. Um, just a little side hobby I want to do. And then doing auditions, there's callbacks, chemistry reads. We will see what will happen, but I'm really excited for the future. And right now I'm just focusing on doing a lot of school. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll smash whatever it is that you're doing. Like I said, the enthusiasm, the talent that you've
Absolutely.
got, whatever you put your mind to, the world your wish that really, really is.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Um,
Okay, if there is one. I'm not going to sit here and go through my entire life history with you, Kyriana, bless your heart. As somebody who experienced disability throughout my childhood, KB's journey, particularly in episode 6, and obviously your bond with Bryce seems to have really made this glow and this made this such a special episode for you. Um, KB speaks very frankly about the difficulty she's had being that little bit different from her friends. I I guess was this moment was something that was special for you as well because clearly it came across so vividly on screen. I was in absolute floods of tears from the start of the episode to the end of it. It meant so much to me and to so many of my other friends I know who are also disabled and have struggled to feel that.
Mhm. I mean, it was definitely a very important scene. I was looking forward to it for a while because it's a very big moment in KB's journey and her learning like more about herself and speaking up because you know she's scared to tell Fern some things because she doesn't want like Fern to think of her differently and to
Mm.
because she likes that Fern like treats her as an equal and like believes in her and wants her to and like lets her do like cool things like going on the hover bikes and fixing things. But it went to a point where it just was too much and like Fern was thinking KB could do a lot more than she could and it was fine. She has her limitations and she's just figuring it out and
yeah.
I mean, I was when I was on set, I was kind of figuring it out at the same time. I mean, I'm still figuring out like life is crazy.
It
But
is.
Yeah, I mean, with KB's journey and like speaking up for herself, I was like on such a big set all the time, and I didn't know when I could speak up and all that. And so, I mean, when I saw like KB's journey, like kind of all written out on all the episodes and all the scripts, I was kind of like, it's in my brain now. Like that whole journey, it was kind of like a guide for me almost. I feel like
Yeah.
he was learning all these things, and while I was on set, I was kind of learning it at the same time, maybe a little after her. But yeah, I mean, mhm.
You
Love
did
it.
an incredible
Absolutely love
job.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Thank you from all of us as well for taking the time today, like we mentioned, for coming on the show. And again, for someone so young, extremely talented, wise beyond your years as well, is something that's really stood out for me on this episode. Unbelievable. So for myself, Jimmy and Charlie, thank you so much for taking the time and coming on the show.
Thank you. This was so much fun.
Well, we're glad we got to do it. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Not
Yeah.
a problem.
Bye.
Hey, we just want to thank all of our guests. A massive shout out to everybody, listeners, viewers. We've seen our numbers climbing. We so appreciate your guys' love and support. We keep saying this every week. This show is for you guys. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We hope you enjoyed the show today. But thank you guys. Get involved. DM us. Send us emails. We had a great email just come in the other day. That was awesome to chat some Star Wars with another fan. We love it. We want more of it. Please send it our way. Instagram and all that stuff.
Yes, and remember to like this episode, share it with your Star Wars friends and family, and follow us on all our social media platforms. All you have to do is search Explore the Force, all one word. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes. Please subscribe. We're almost at 500. As Jimmy said, share it out, get it out there.
All right. Well, an amazing episode. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing our conversation as much as we loved it. You probably tell we were a little bit nervous. Just super excited. What an amazing young person. So for all of us, for KB, for all the kids, and all the Star Wars fans out there, we have spoken. We'll see you guys next week.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
Close your eyes. Feel it.
I am a Senate.
As wise as Master Yoda, as powerful as Master Windu.
They'll do their job well. I'll guarantee that.
I am going to end this once and for all.
Sure. We're home.
You were the chosen one!